Want to sound more polished and professional at work? Imagine using phrases that not only impress but also elevate your communication skills to a whole new level. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video where we are diving into 25 advanced phrases for professionals. If you have ever felt the need to upgrade your vocabulary in meetings, emails, or client conversations, this video is for you. Now, why are these phrases so important? Because the way you express yourself at work reflects your confidence, competence, and clarity. Now, these phrases are more than just words, they are tools that can help you ace your workplace communication. Here's how this video is structured. I'll introduce each phrase, explain what it means, and give you a practical example of how to use it. So, grab a notebook and start jotting them down. Use 2-3 of these phrases every day in your office or meetings, and you will see the impact almost instantly. Let's get started. So, our phrase number 1 is let's circle back to this, and the meaning is revisit a topic later. An example is we have discussed a lot. Let's circle back to this point in tomorrow's meeting. Let's come to phrase number 2, which is I would like to table this for now. And that means postpone discussing an issue. So you can say, since we are running out of time, I would like to table this for now and revisit it next week. Let's go to our phrase number 3, which is can we drill down on this? And the meaning is examine or analyze something in detail. So you can say, your summary is helpful, but can we drill down on the financial figures? And that brings us to our phrase number 4. Let's take this offline. Now this means discuss something later, that is outside the current meeting. So you can say, this debate is taking too much time. Let's take this offline. Let's go to our phrase number 5. That is, that's outside our scope right now. And it means something beyond the current project's objectives. So the example you can use it, exploring new markets is a great idea, but it is outside our scope right now. And now we go to our next phrase, which is to align with our objectives. And it means to ensure something matches the goals. And the example you can use it, to align with our objectives, let's focus on customer retention strategies first. And that takes us to our next phrase, which is what is the key takeaway here? And the meaning is the most important information or lesson. You can use the example like, the presentation was great. What is a key takeaway for us to implement? And you can use it during meetings as well. Now, phrase number 8 is, let's leverage our resources wisely. That means use available resources effectively. So you can say, with a limited budget, we need to leverage our resources wisely. And phrase number 9 is, I would like to get your thoughts on this. And this means asking for someone's opinion. And you can use the example and say, before moving forward, I would like to get your thoughts on this proposal. Now this brings to our phrase number 10, and that is, let's prioritize this moving forward, and which means focus on something as a main task or goal. And the example is, this task has a tight deadline. So let's prioritize this moving forward. And the phrase number 11 is, this aligns with our overarching strategy. Now that means matches the broader plan or goal. And overarching means very important because it includes or influences many things. And please mind the pronunciation. It is overarching. For example, you can say, your idea aligns perfectly with our overarching strategy for growth. And let's go to our next phrase, which is, I appreciate your candor. Now again, mind the pronunciation. Being honest or straightforward is the meaning. Please pay attention to the pronunciation, once again I'm telling you, it is candor. And the example you can use it, your feedback was tough but fair, and I appreciate your candor. That is your frankness. Phrase number 13 is, we need to mitigate the risks involved. And the meaning is reduce or lessen the impact of risk. The example is, to ensure success, we need to mitigate the risks involved in this project. That brings us to our next phrase, which is, let's touch base later this week. And this is used to say that let's reconnect or check in with someone. Let's touch base later this week to finalize the details. Phrase number 15. Could you elaborate on that point? And the meaning is explain further or in more detail. For example, you can say, your suggestion sounds promising. Could you elaborate on that point? When you want somebody to explain a point further. Phrase number 16. This is a high priority task. And the meaning is a task that requires immediate attention. And the example is, the client's issue is critical. This is a high priority task. And that brings us to our next phrase, which is, let's streamline the process. And the meaning is, make a process simpler and more efficient. For example, you can say, if we use automation tools, we can streamline the process significantly. And let's go to our next phrase, which is phrase number 18. I would like to flag a concern. If you say, what does it mean? That means bring attention to a potential issue. Before we proceed, I would like to flag a concern regarding the budget. Phrase number 19. Can you walk me through the process? And the meaning is explain something step by step. And the example is, before I start, can you walk me through the onboarding process? Let's go to our next phrase, which is phrase number 20. This is a game changer. And the meaning is something that significantly changes the outcome. The example, the new marketing strategy is a game changer for our revenue growth. And you can use that there. Let's go to our next phrase, which is, hey, what's the ROI on this initiative? And the important thing is ROI, which means return on investment expected. So example is, before we commit resources, what is the ROI on this initiative? Let's discuss that. And our phrase number 22, let's pivot our approach, which is changing direction or strategy. So the example is, the initial plan isn't working. Let's pivot our approach. So that means change our approach. Let's go to our next phrase, which is phrase number 23. Could we explore alternative solutions? And that means consider other options. So you can use the example like, the current approach is costly. Could we explore alternative solutions? Let's go to our next phrase. And that phrase is our phrase number 24. This will require a collective effort. So you may say so in team meetings because it involves teamwork to achieve the goal. So to meet the deadline, this will require a collective effort from everyone. And our last phrase is phrase number 25. Let's brainstorm actionable ideas. That means think of practical and implementable ideas. We need to innovate. Let's brainstorm actionable ideas. And that's it for today's video on 25 advanced phrases for professionals. I hope you found these phrases useful and are already thinking about where to use them. Remember, practice makes perfect. So don't hesitate to incorporate them into your conversations starting today. Before you go, let me know in the comments what phrase was your favorite or which one you're excited to try first. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on mastering professional communication. See you in our next video.